It has been such a long time since I have enjoyed watching the Philadelphia 76ers play basketball, and in this summer league game, my passion has been reignited, and I'm getting so hyped up for next season. Let's just start things off, man, with this epic V.J Edgecombe dunk. We're going to be talking about his fantastic performance in his summer league debut. Welcome on into NZ for 3, where we talk Sixers nonstop. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you're new around here. But let's get right down to business, man. So the Sixers and the Utah Jazz were battling it out the entire game. The Sixers were finding their way through. They were already, down by like 13 at one point to Utah, and Sensabaugh was going off, turning into prime Stephen Curry. And the Sixers, they kept clawing their way back into the game, man, and were able to give them a good fight. They did end up losing, but we don't really watch Summer League to see who actually wins the game. We watch it for the young players to see how they are adapting and how they are looking, in their first experience in the pros. And we got to talk about the third overall pick in this year's draft, V.J Edgecombe, who was such a monster in this game, man. I think this was just a complete 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10 debut for V.J Edgecombe, man. Really exceeding expectations. And look, man, yeah, it's Summer League. We know it's Summer League. For everyone who's about to complain in the comments, oh, it's Summer League. Yeah, it's Summer League. We know it's Summer League, but look, come on. Give us Sixers fans some time, man, to celebrate the fact that we got a dog on our team. And Jared McCain did not look good in his Summer League. And Furkan Korkmaz looked like the next coming of, Hedo Turkoglu in his summer league. But look, V.J Edgecombe, man, he was doing it all tonight, and he outplayed Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey had like 7 points on 2 for 13 shooting. Let me confirm that real quick. Yeah, so Ace Bailey, man, 7 points, 3 for 13, 7 rebounds, and V.J Edgecombe, he just completely outclassed him in every way imaginable, both offensively and defensively. VJ had 28 points, 10 boards, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. He really got it going early, finding Broom with a nice pick and pop, dish it out to him. He drained it. Broom, by the way, he was decent, man. He was really good in this game, man. Just like really finding his spots, battling out in the post, looking for mismatches, and hitting on his threes. Broom in this game, I think he did shoot a good percentage from 3. Yeah, 2 for 4 from deep, man. He wasn't really known as a shooter, but he did definitely show out. He did show out when it came to his just overall IQ. He was really trying hard on defense, man. And Broom, he was good, man. 13 points, 5 rebounds. I'm excited to see what, if he will crack some minutes in this rotation. But back to VJ, man. We got to get to VJ. Yeah, VJ, dude, he is such a breath of fresh air. I mean, we just saw that transition dunk, but he was really doing it all on the offensive end of the floor. He was going to the lane. He got a nice little you just drive him to the basket. His first ever points, in the summer league, in the pros, he got, a little flip-up shot, down swish, and was hitting, middies, pull-up jump shots from the baseline, within the paint, getting his way, barreling his way into the paint, pulling up. And, his pull-up game was a little bit of a knock on his overall skill set coming into the NBA, but, he was also hitting, like, turnaround fadeaways, did not really shoot well from the three-point line, but did have a good catch and shoot 3 from the right wing, which is nice because you want to see that, man, because we need guys who can catch and shoot the basketball. And he does have some pretty decent percentages in college when it comes to catch and shoot threes. And VJ and Brooms, their chemistry was great. I mean, they had 2 pick and pop scenarios, 2 pick and pop plays that Broom was able to convert on, shooting it from deep, and VJ was getting a lot of attention from the defense and was able to capitalize on it. Did have 4 assists and also 2 blocks as well, man. VJ's defense is going to have a serious impact on the Sixers team. I mean, they do not have any. They did not have, any like really good point of attack defenders who could really notice rotations and fill in the gaps and do all that kind of stuff. And V.J. Edgecombe, he did have a really good shot contest on Ace Bailey, actually, in the beginning of this game. Bailey was going to the rack, and VJ got right in his way, man, using his quick feet and forced a tough shot for him down the lane, but Ace did eventually get the offensive rebound and put it back in. But, VJ, he was, being active on the defensive end, had a couple blocks. Walter Clayton Jr. got one on him, and he did get one on former Sixer Jaden Springer, who was, a bust, one of the not necessarily good pick by Daryl Morey, who has been good at drafting. He got the block on Jaden Springer, who I forgot got traded to the Celtics, where he did win the championship, by the way. So he is an NBA champion, but got traded to the Jazz, I believe, and was on their summer league team. And, yeah, VJ blocked him, got the and one. And, VJ Edgecombe, man, just double thumbs up from me. I approve of VJ's performance tonight. He was awesome. He was fantastic, really impacting the game. Two-way impact. That is what the 76ers need. And he just going coast to coast right in transition and getting that slam. He really just showed what he can do to really impact the Sixers team. I mean, yeah, we know it's Summer League. It is Summer League, but what the point of Summer League is to see how these guys are playing, so how we can imagine what they're going to look like sort of in the NBA, at least how they are going to play and what habits they're developing. And VJ, he can get to his top speed so quickly, it is crazy, just a complete blur. And you pair that next to Tyrese Maxey, who's also one of the fastest players in the league, you're going to get yourself a dangerous backcourt. Combine Maxey with VJ's defense, I mean, that's a decent backcourt, man. You got some good versatility there. And then I think about, when they bring Quentin Grimes back, is Quentin Grimes going to be slotting in at that starting shooting guard spot instead of Jared McCain, because Nick Nurse, sort of wants a more defensive-minded roster or defensive-minded backcourt? Because, of course, Maxey, he definitely took some leaps defensively. He's not really a liability anymore. He used to just get, bullied around, in his first couple of seasons. But is now, I consider him, an average defender. Definitely not a liability. But I think having a big combo guard, defensive-minded combo guard, I think that will help Maxey a lot. And that is the type of, archetype that V.J. Edgecombe and Quentin Grimes, that is basically their bread and butter. And that is a great complementary piece next to Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain, whether it's, in the starting lineup or in the second unit. Nick Nurse definitely has a lot to work with in the the backcourt. And speaking of the front court, though, we then got to talk about our guy, Adem Bona, who was playing like Giannis Antetokounmpo in this game. He had about 6 dunks? And he had more dunks in this game than Tobias Harris did in his entire 76ers career. For real, man. He was just a man amongst boys in this game. 16 points. 8 rebounds. His first slam of the game, man. He was just getting real physical. I think he got a pocket pass from Justin Edwards off a pick and roll, and just got physical, man. Lowered his shoulder, bars right into him, and just slammed it home. Adem Bona, he did have, I think, 6 fouls in this game, so I think he did actually foul out. But yeah, Bona, He still has a big problem when it comes to fouling, but I think when it comes to his physicality, it comes to his energy, and it comes to his length and strength, he needs to be the backup center, man. I know. Am I overreacting to a summer league game? Probably, but Andre Drummond just cannot do this stuff. He does not have the spunk that Adem Bona has. He definitely puts a lot of pressure on, slashers at the rim, and he can really make an impact on the defensive end of the floor and also be a lob threat at the same time. I mean, the dude, he was looking like Giannis out there. I mean, talk about, summer league Giannis. He was really, really good in this game. I was really impressed with Adem Bona in this game. But, yeah, the fouling, I think that's definitely something. It's going to take time for him to get to know, really get to, nail that down and to not bite on pump fakes and, extend his hip out too much and really just avoid, be a little bit smarter, be a bit more grounded. And, Paul Reed, that was sort of an issue that he had with the Sixers that he never really figured out. I hope Bona is able to do that. And Adem Bona, he's got to be starting at the 5 position in the Sixers. They need to embrace the youth, man. They need to embrace the youth. One of the reasons why I enjoyed this game so much is because they were playing fast, man. They were getting out in transition, and that was all led by V.J Edgecombe. And you think about Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, Edgecombe, Quentin Grimes, and, all these, all of our, young wings like Watford and Jabari Walker, Justin Edwards, Adem Bona, who's sort of more of a big. These are young guys. They want to run. They want to blitz the court, and they want to catch the defense off guard. And the Sixers, they need to embrace that. So I've been thinking throughout this entire offseason so far, how is this going to play with Joel Embiid? Is Joel Embiid going to embrace a more, behind the scenes sort of game? I don't know if that's a really good way of describing it, but I don't know if Joel Embiid is ever going to be averaging 34 points ever again, man. I just think at this point in his career, we really don't know when it comes to his injuries. Maybe he's been lying low, just rehabbing. It's been going well, and we have not really been getting much information regarding Embiid. But if he can maybe slide back, maybe average like 20, 22 points per game, really lock into rebounding and defense, and just, I guess work on his conditioning so where he could run with these young dogs, then I think the Sixers, they could really establish an identity. Maybe Paul George, maybe he still has some juice left. I mean, last season was just such a wild experience that no one wants to remember, and Paul George was not good last year, obviously, so maybe he was just getting accustomed to playing with the Sixers in his first year, who knows. But if Paul George can just be better than Tobias Harris, man, just catch and shoot, just be able to hustle, play hard on the defensive end of the floor. And Paul George, he was decent defensively last year. Some may chalk it up to him just looking good because everyone else was so trash defensively when Nick Nurse was running those atrocious 3-guard lineups like Reggie Jackson, Eric Gordon, and Kyle Lowry. It was just horrible. Paul George, I think if he could just be a solid 3-and-D, glorified role player at this point, let's just keep it a buck. We got to be honest. I mean, it's the Tobias Harris situation all over again, and the Sixers, they did not have the timing when it came to free agency. And, signing Paul George was pretty much their best move at the time. And, look, if the Sixers, if they can figure it out, man, if they can really, tap into the youth movement, I think it will really help Paul George and Joel Embiid, who really need young athletic guys to sort of compensate for their declining athleticism. I think, I don't think that's a crazy take to really start locking in and, focusing on the development of V.J Edgecombe and Jared McCain, giving them, a bigger role. Now, Edgecombe, when it comes to his role, he's obviously not going to be, handling the ball a lot of the time. He's probably going to be, moving a lot off ball and doing a whole bunch of screen actions and stuff like that. I mean, we have seen firsthand that V.J Edgecombe thrives when he is getting out in transition and making plays with his defensive playmaking. We saw that when it came to his block against Jaden Springer and getting that and one. He was really making a two-way impact in this game, and that is what we like to see, man, because the Sixers, they've had so many specialists over the years. When it came to George Niang, he's only good at shooting. Shake Millen, only good at ball handling. Matisse Thybulle, only good at defense. And the Sixers, they're finally getting versatile players who can do multiple things on the court. And V.J Edgecombe, man, he can really make an impact on this team. I mean, I'm high on him. Of course, I'm not trying to overreact to the Summer League game, but even if V.J Edgecombe, even if he becomes, like a supercharged Marcus Smart at his peak, he will still be a better, one of the better draft picks the Sixers have made in the past 30 years. And I think he is a really valuable piece to have next to McCain and Maxey, Embiid, and Paul George. He can just fit in right away and contribute. And I hope Nick Nurse gives him some minutes. I hope Nick Nurse finally learns to embrace the youth. I do not want to see any Eric Gordon minutes. I had a couple commenters, defend Eric Gordon. And look, yeah, I mean, his mentorship, sure, I mean, that's cool. But no, he is so washed. He is just washed, man. It is what it is. If it was 2017, sure, I love Eric Gordon, but we have so many guards already, especially if we're going to bring back Quentin Grimes. There's just not enough space for him to get minutes, and he's just too much of a traffic cone on defense. And yeah, he shoots 40% from three, but we need more, man. We're trying to compete for a championship. So, I mean, other than that, I mean, Ace Bailey, he's, of course, a really talented player. Of course, he has the intangibles, the athleticism, and the size, the skill set to really be a good player in the NBA. It's just that the Sixers, they have had so many players over these past couple of years throughout the Embiid era that have come with damaged goods, and it ended up exploding right in the team's face. And I'm just happy they drafted VJ because you're not getting any of that. You're getting the guy who can contribute immediately, but also have that star potential. Whereas with Bailey, it's going to take a while for him to develop, and he was not good in this game, man. He just was not good. He hit like 1-3, a couple mid-range shots, but other than that, he really cannot create any separation with his handle. I mean, we saw that when he was at Rutgers. And that's something he's got to work on. Of course, VJ, he is not perfect at all either. He still has to work on his handle as well. And, the three-point shot has to come around eventually. But this is just the first summer league game. I mean, I'm pretty much running out of things to say. I'm just saying, man, this was the first time I actually enjoyed watching the Sixers play basketball. And this Sixers team can low-key. This summer league Sixers team, they could probably beat the Sixers from last year. I mean, like, whether it was like post-trade deadline with like Quentin Grimes and stuff, even in the beginning of the year when Maxey and Paul George and Embiid were only playing, like 8 games together, like with them, like together, I think that summer league Sixers team, this summer league Sixers team can be the Sixers team from last year. I mean, they were just, the youth, the athleticism, just guys who can get out and run. Can we just have that, man? I mean, all these other NBA teams do. The OKC Thunder, the Indiana Pacers, they made the finals. They went on crazy runs, and they have a lot of really good young players. Of course, they got some veterans as well, but you can't be playing Eric Gordon. You cannot be playing Eric Gordon. I had a couple commenters defending Eric Gordon. Of course, yeah, sure, his mentorship with VJ and stuff, I mean, that's cool. I mean, I understand that. Of course, a lot of these championship teams, they do have some older veterans to, sort of guide the way and, provide, veteran experience and all that stuff. I understand that. However, Eric Gordon is washed. If it was 2017, I'd love Eric Gordon on this team, man. But we already have a bunch of guards who can contribute immediately, especially if Quentin Grimes comes back, which he will. I mean, he's not going to be getting offered some massive contract. The Sixers hold all the cards in this situation with Quentin Grimes. But we already have the guard rotation locked up, and Eric Gordon is a traffic cone on defense. And sure, he shoots 40% from 3, but we're trying to compete for a championship. You need to do more than that. In the Sixers, they're finally investing in, versatile NBA players, and that is great to see. But yeah, I mean, just had a lot of fun watching that game. Of course, I'm going to be tuning into the rest of the Summer League as well. We'll see how long VJ will continue to get, Summer League action before he, gets shut down. If he even gets shut down, if he just wants to keep playing, man, I'm all for it. V.J Edgecombe, hoops. Let's get it, man. I'm just, he's a dog, young stud. He's a young stud, and I'm happy that he's in a Sixers uniform. But that's pretty much all I got. Thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate it. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you're new around here, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. This is NZ for 3. Peace.